Hi, I'm Radical Coder. This is Umbreon. And real quick, before we dive in, if you want to make sure this little dude stays fed and warm, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments what I got right, what I got wrong, or what you want to argue about. Let's go.
The fellow right above you there, he actually was in jail for, I believe, 3 years. Was just got he was did you need your pardon, Tim?
I technically only needed it for the misdemeanors. So, I said, I beat
the felony.
Okay. Yeah, I beat that.
This is gonna sound horrible, but
3 years for misdemeanors.
What is that? Can you fill me in on your events?
Yeah. So on January 6th, when the electoral count was happening in 2021. President Trump was having a large rally in Washington, D.C. And while in the middle of when he was speaking, federal informants knocked over barriers around the Capitol perimeters.
Oh, it was the entire at the White House thingy, right?
Yeah.
We just called it the White House thingy.
At the Capitol building,
Yeah. And so this perimeter that was set up around there was taken down before the speech was over. And so a half hour before people like me ended up walking to this area to protest where we thought was, okay to assemble, it was basically opened up to us. And so thousands of people poured into this area, not knowing it was quote unquote restricted grounds. And so the Capitol Police used it as a casus belli, basically to start shooting people in the face. And so a riot ensued and people ended up going inside this building. Now, granted, Congress was not in session, but this was used as an excuse to hunt people down for years and hold them in jails and prisons throughout the country. So it was you might be familiar with the term false flag, but that's what that was.
You say that Congress wasn't in session. My understanding is they did succeed in delaying the certification of the election.
Yeah, they didn't certify until later that night around 8 o'clock. Yeah. But Congress had actually.
If you guys hadn't gone in, they would have certified it earlier, right?
I mean, that's certainly a possibility, but they weren't in session. So they had actually adjourned their session earlier before we had actually gone in. So I went in around 2:14 p.m. Before that, they had actually adjourned.
You were yelling advance. Is this true?
Who did what?
You were yelling advance. Is this true?
No.
No? Okay. Just for some reason, so there's some sources online that say that you were yelling advance.
There's a lot of sources. There's a lot of sources that say a lot of shit about me. Largely,
sure.
So for instance, NCIS had used informants to try to incriminate me in my home. My roommate was strapped with a wire, and he approached me when I was inebriated.
I can't even believe that is real, man. Like your roommate.
It's fucking wild. First off, I love that guy like my brother, and also it's like a fucking movie. I didn't know they still used actual physical wires. Like that was fucking wild.
Yeah, they do.
So there's that, and then NCIS, because I was investigating the Navy for corruption. NCIS got a bunch of random petty officers to pose as my coworkers to say I was an extremist, and so basically NCIS fabricated a bunch of reports about me so they could deny me bail and hold me in solitary for a fucking year.
So the 34 people who testified you made pro-Nazi or pro-anti-Semitic statements, they were not really your coworkers?
No, they're not. And in fact, if you go through the actual reports themselves, when they ask them, how well do you know the individual? The majority say, I don't know him. They're repeating, a lot of them repeat hearsay. I heard someone say this about someone else saying this or hearing this. My actual coworkers still talk to me, and I actually have their testimony. And it's funny enough, my own supervisor lost his job because he stuck his neck out for me and wrote me a character letter for bail. NCIS did everything they could to get him terminated, and then they tried to initiate an investigation through the Army. So that's still going on. But I'm going to his wedding in a couple months. I was investigating. So I worked as a naval weapons contractor. And so I was the union rep. And so I constantly, because I'm part of the labor movement, I constantly fought management because they violated our civil rights. So veterans are protected under something called USERRA, which protects National Guard and Reserve troops so that they can work on the weekends on duty without getting, screwed over by their employers. Well, the company I worked for didn't follow that. And so I was working with my local congressman's office, Congressman Chris Smith, who then threw me under the bus. But I was investigating the employer, and they knew this, and so they did what they could to basically get me terminated, and basically worked with the Navy to get me disappeared, to get me Clintoned, let's say.
Wow. Wow, they really had it out for you specifically. That's pretty crazy.
Well, they did because I mean, if you trust the sources,
I'm just gonna like leave.
there's a lot of things.
Guys, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just gonna like leave real quick and go on my PC instead because I decided my phone is like not big enough for faces.
Okay. All right. Just jump back in. We're going to be on for another little bit, and we'll move away from the Jan 6 stuff here in a minute, and we'll talk more about debating.
No problem. I was like, can you explain the date to me, because it's nothing for me. It's just like
yeah.
I asked my boyfriend. He's like very political, like opinionated, and he's like, oh, it's the January thing, right?
Well, this isn't a debate. This is just Ryan.
No, I know. I just mean I don't know about that date.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well, it's because only Americans and certain Americans think that it equates to do a D-Day or like the Pearl Harbor. Like there's a lot of I'm just saying there's a lot of people who use very hyperbolic language to try to describe what J6 was and wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you even have
I guess
like
you want me to read the
short version of the name? That is insane. I didn't even know what it was. Okay, I'll be right back as the crazy fucking
we'll be here.
Canadian. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Ryan, you are probably the perfect one to read that.
Sarcastic Warlock, my good buddy, says it's not illegal to be anti-Semitic. The day that happens, this is no longer America. We're allowed to hate anything we want, from foods to people.
That's true.
I don't think it should be illegal to be anti-Semitic. I don't think it is illegal to be anti-Semitic. I was just curious about those.
There are certain, obviously,
things.
restrictions on people giving criticisms to Israel, obviously.
Well, and his job. I mean, he can't, he's in a sensitive field, I would say. Sure. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, the super chat was, it's not illegal to be anti-Semitic. The day that happens, this is no longer America. We're allowed to hate anything we want, from foods to people. We were just commenting that you were in a kind of a sensitive position. So saying that even if you didn't, someone saying that you made, Nazi style comments or drew something on the notepad on your office or whatever could have,
more drastic impacts on him.
Than it would say on me. Like nobody cares what you say about me.
So I guess just to speak to, because John correctly pointed out that a lot of people have used, some pretty incendiary rhetoric about January 6th. I would say it was a big deal because I don't believe that the election was stolen. I don't believe there's any evidence that the election was stolen. And I think that Trump lied to these people and convinced them that the election was stolen. And then they stormed the Capitol and they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. They succeeded in delaying the peaceful transfer of power. And I think it's a pretty big stain on the United States history. I think there was a lot of violence. There was plans for more violence if they had succeeded. And they, went on for hours and hours when Trump had every opportunity to end it. And we know that because. So
you're against violence then,
I'm
right?
almost done, I promise. And we know that he could have stopped it at any point, because when he finally tweeted, "Hey, go home. You're very special people. We love you." They did.
So you're against violence, right?
Generally.
Okay. So burning down a Wendy's because a black person gets shot. How about that being a stain on our country?
I think it's bad. I don't think it's quite as big a deal as people.
Because of your ideology, right?
Well, actually, Ryan, that's backwards, brother. That's backwards. That's literally backwards. Like, you should. I have less of a problem with someone going and burning down the courthouse because they feel like they've had an injustice done against them than them going and burning down a man's shop where he makes his money, because our government should live in fear of its citizens. Our government should do everything in a very purposeful way, with the idea that at any point in time, the citizens are actually the ones that matter, not the government. The government is irrelevant for the most part. And
there's something to that.
I think you're backwards on that. I maybe I'm wrong.
I wouldn't say backwards. I would say maybe I'm understating. I mean, it's really bad. Don't get me wrong, to burn down a Wendy's. Like, but I think what happens a lot of times in these like kind of riotous environments is there are people who take advantage of the unrest, and they do things like arson. They do things like looting. And generally, these people are not the ones who went out there to be part of the like, especially like in LA recently, there were a lot of massive protests, and there were a handful of people who did really fucked up shit. And I'm against those. I don't think those people should have been doing that stuff, and I'm
good with you.
I'm sending in the National Guard to do it, to stop them, but because I think the LAPD was handling just fine. But I don't think they should be doing that. I think it played into Trump's hand, and I'm glad that there was less of that moving forward.
Hey, Grid. So I'm just trying to follow the nexus of that. Okay, so I didn't realize the super chat was talking about me there. So
yeah,
all right, I think it was a super chat or was a comment, whatever. So yeah, in terms of the alleged anti-Semitism or whatever, yeah. So it's kind of in the name, criminally funny. I was a satirist before J6, and so what they did was they took jokes of mine from like a year before J6, back during the COVID era, and they tried to use that again to build the white supremacist Timothy McVeigh narrative.
Right.
But yeah, you are correct that there are situations where if you do certain things in uniform, for instance, you can bring a stain on the military's reputation. But the problem is, I had the endorsement of the military. My supervisors in the military knew that I did comedy, and they actually were okay with it. And they actually encouraged me. I was actually allowed to be like the unit cartoonist, as dumb as that sounds. But this was all stuff done as a reservist. I was doing it in my private life. But all the same, that it really had nothing to do with what I did on J6, which makes it all the more egregious. So
right.
In terms of what Ryan said earlier, I would say that there were a lot more deaths on January 6th than at a Wendy's or someone getting shot or whatever. Four protesters got killed. And so, it's important to keep what actually happened on J6 in context. The violence was initiated by the police. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boyland, two other individuals died. No police died. So yes, there was violence, but in the context, it was actually in specific locations, particularly the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. A lot of the injuries Capitol Police also sustained were because of themselves. They were self-inflicted injuries because they kept spraying each other. A lot of the times the chain of command broke down and the officers were extremely incompetent. So they wouldn't listen to their superiors, and they would actually launch ordnance into themselves. They would actually spray against the wind, so it would blow back in their own faces. Now, that's not to say there weren't people who didn't get out of hand or whatever. There were. But again, there was a lot going on there that day. It didn't happen out of nowhere. The riot was incited by excessive groups.
I don't agree with the last part. I agree it didn't happen out of nowhere. I think it happened after months and months of,
it's not,
a year
again,
of Trump saying that the election was going to be stolen. And
that's nice. I'm speaking from
what you believe is irrelevant compared to what
I'm telling you. What happened was that Capitol Police shot a man through the face. His name was Joshua Black. They shot a man through the face, and that's what led people to riot on the West Terrace. Right. So before that, I have video from my own cell phone showing we were just chanting USA and singing God Bless America. All right. It didn't. So what had happened was you had a bunch of people with thin blue line and back the blue flags who suddenly started fighting the cops, and nobody questions the chronology here. Right. So, yeah, again, there were people who rioted or got engaged in civil disorder, and there were people who got out of hand. But the context is what built up to it. You also had Antifa in the crowd who had infiltrated things and tried to escalate. A man who actually filmed.
Do you have footage of them on your phone, too?
A man who actually filmed Ashley Babbitt's murder. His name was John Sullivan, and he actually had a whole Discord of Antifa who were preparing for that day. Another man who broke the window where Ashley Babbitt got shot, his name was Zach Alam. I was in jail with him, and he actually admitted he was Antifa. You also had Jake Lang, who was at the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. He was assaulting cops with a baseball bat for 3 hours, and he admitted he was also an anarchist. The guy who handed him a baseball bat.
Anarchist or Antifa?
Antifa. And so is the guy who gave him the baseball bat. He goes by the nickname Trash Can.
Oh, sorry.
But his name is Josiah Kenyon. Josiah Kenyon also admitted to the FBI that he was a communist trying to get Trump supporters murdered. And so there was a lot going on that day. With all those different people, you had different intentions, different perspectives. I did not go there to overthrow the government or to start a riot or to do any of that shit.
Your intention was to delay the certification of the election, though.
I wanted to protest, and I wanted my representatives to have their debate. It doesn't make sense that we would try to stop the debate from happening that we wanted to happen.
You wanted to pressure them to have the debate about the fake electors, right?
from our perspective, the ones that actually got certified were fake. But that's a debate for another day. But yeah, the intent.
You can say that, but the states didn't certify those electors, right?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because
what matters.
It doesn't matter, Ryan.
Understand, kids, is that criminal law, you have something called mens rea, criminal mind. Criminal mind. It has to do with the intent of the people there. If their intent was not to violate a law, and this is why I won in the Supreme Court, all right, what matters is what people actually planned on doing. All right, that's the distinction.
I'm not trying to convict you here.
For instance, mens rea.
Yeah, you are.
All right, so this has been
I don't
awesome.
believe a lot of stuff you're saying, but I'm not trying to convict you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ryan, I mean, I get it, but he was there.
I mean, you can take I expect you to take his word for it, Grid. I would encourage other people to be a little bit more skeptical about, like.
Yeah,
you don't
have to take the word of you that you weren't there. That's the word that we should take.
Actually, I wouldn't encourage you to take my word. I haven't made any strong claims again. I've asked him questions.
I
posted actually the recording that the feds had. The feds recorded me in my own house without me knowing, and I straight up say, when my roommate asked me, "Hey, what was the plan for going in the Capitol?" and I say there wasn't one. The cops attacked us, and people got pissed off. And that's on the recording that the feds took. NCIS recorded that. It's on the record. I posted it on.
It's true. You were heading to the House
Twitter
chamber, right?
Chaotic Truth is even up in the House and letting you know, Ryan, the certification was symbolic, Ryan. You know that the transaction was going to happen either way.
That's a great point, too, because it's a double-edged sword. Either it was symbolic, in which case no law was broken because you can't interrupt a symbolic session, or it wasn't symbolic and there was an actual process that we had the right to actually be consulted in as citizens and have it actually debated and sent back to the states. Either way, there's no criminal intent. There's no criminal intent in citizens protesting a rigged election. Whether you agree with
people have a right to do you think people have a right to protest?
Yeah,
all right,
I don't think they have
guys, give me a couple minutes.
To try to delay that.
Thank you, Ryan. That's it. That's all I have to know.
All right, give me a couple minutes here, guys. Couple of things. First, I know that Vibe and Chaotic and some other guys are in here. If you guys want to come up, all you need to do is just get the link from over in the Discord. Chaotic, I know that you're not very Discorded, friendly. So if we have to, we'll drop you the link and then delete it. If you want to come up, that's fine. Chaotic Truth says, I like Ryan. To be honest, he belongs on an episode of Seinfeld or Saturday Night Live, not debating Gen 6, respectfully. I like Ryan, too. Ryan's growing on me. I think he's a really crappy debater, but he's really funny in other ways, so that's fine. I want to move on a little bit from... I'm sorry?
So you'll figure out eventually that I'm actually quite a decent debater, but...
Nobody will figure that out, dude.
I mean, I've been watching you a while now, but that's okay.
If you're the only one in the room that says that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I mean, aren't you the one that wants scientific consensus on things? So.
Like a person
I don't
who has
think that
to
you guys
explain
are scientific consensus.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
there's a scientific consensus in what the feds recorded to me saying in my own home. So I posted the link in the private chat if anybody wants to actually listen to what my actual was that day, so people know the content.
Yeah. I kind of want to move things along a little bit. So, and mostly because we got to talk about the debate show because that's why Lily showed up. And I originally had told her that we would talk about some of her positions on things, and that's cool. But we're running a little late. Not late, but a little behind. I see Flutendut.
Yeah, that's my old streaming name, and apparently people are not too satisfied with me changing it. But it's might change back,
Okay.
People have habits, apparently.
Sure. All right.
By the way, Lily, my wife does have Danish in her on their mother's side, so.
The worst part is when you see Danish in her, I'm reminded about the joke like my boyfriend made. He's like, "Do you have any Norwegian in you?" No. Do you want it? It's like,
yeah.
No, I know. Well, her great. So let me I'll say this: her great grandparents immigrated here from.
Please don't say they're in her. I get you.
I get you saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, she comes from a family of Danish people. Is that better?
Yes. Thank you.
I'm not really sure this is true. Bloodshot says that he likes you because you're the only one who tries to find the truth. I don't think he's trying to find any truth. And also, I don't believe that the narrative that Tim is spewing is ridiculous because it's been corroborated by many sources. So it's hard to call something delusional.
Has it been corroborated by a lot of non-ideological predisposed sources?
Yeah, law enforcement. Video corroborates it.
He's free to come up here and debate me himself. I know not only about my own case, but I helped a lot of people work on their own cases. So I have a pretty holistic view of the whole entire day, the different groups,
Trippy Cat,
the timeline.
Are you Middle Eastern, Brian?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, apparently Trippy Cast thinks you're Middle Eastern. Anyway, so Lily Cat, the way the debate show works is we have usually me as the moderator. We have 3 judges. No, which I hope we have 3 judges tomorrow night. We're down 1 for sure, and I didn't see Ticky Tack last week, but we've got people that can judge. So, and then we have up to about 10 or 12 debaters, depending on how it shakes out, and it's a very simple thing. We would choose the chat normally chooses and then pays for the debate that they want to see. So if they wanted to see, for example, Ryan versus Tim, they would somebody would pay the debate fee, which is I think it's like $40. I have to go look again. There's a menu, and the chat pays for it. Then Ryan and Tim would debate. We would pick a subject like Jan 6, and then they would debate. And they each get 1 minute to make their opening statement. Okay. So, and, probably would be Tim going first, Ryan going second. And then we start a 5-minute clock. They get 5 minutes to make their points and debate it back and forth, kind of open dialogue.
Yes.
Then I stop it. Usually they stop. Sometimes it can get a little spirited, and the chat can actually buy more time. So if Trippy Cast really if they were going and Trippy Cast really felt like it was he just thought it was awesome, and he paid, I think it's $10. They get another 5 minutes of time. And then, and we've had them go actually pretty long. And then once time runs out, we stop the debate. The judges make a decision on who made their points the best, who called out fallacies, who called out, different, inaccuracies or whatever, more appropriately. And then the debate, then the judges decide, and one person leaves the chat, and one person stays, and then we move on to the next one.
I like that. It reminds me of the good old shows during COVID times, lockdowns and shit. Because I'm going to be hated. Okay, it's already going to be fun.
Good.
Can I make Ryan cry? Because apparently someone wants to make Ryan cry. So.
Good luck.
Ryan doesn't cry. Ryan stalls. He double talks.
No one said it had to be by.
He doesn't cry. Yeah,
it could be funny.
Can you give me
it would be funny.
My double talk or stalling.
People would pay to see it. I promise you. So. Caldy says, Ryan, just to show you I don't hate you, I'm subbing. So you got to sub out of it.
Love that. Yeah, I encourage plenty of people to. I've been streaming more
Everybody,
lately.
He really
don't leave the stream. Go in a new tab, okay? Don't leave Grid's stream, okay? Just open a new tab and search Radical Coder and then subscribe.
But your takes are hilarious wrong. That's funny.
But your takes are hilarious wrong. Yep. Yeah. I like Ryan. Me and Ryan agree on some things, but I would say we're probably 90% off on everything else. So, but I don't think Ryan double talks, but I do think that he does empty spurg talking, which everybody does to some degree. So
I'd say once in a while I get a little excited, or a little it's usually from frustration when there's like 4 people like fighting with me at once.
Right, and they won't let you finish, kind of thing.
Yeah, but there's some.
But you do that thing that Destiny does, which is where you go.
Yeah. So, and we debate virtually anything.
Just like I have ADHD, so I'm like in between the is it my turn to talk or I have a thought and it might disappear in 30 seconds and it's never coming back. So if I ever like interrupt, just tell me politely shut the fuck up, like non-offensive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I might not see it. I'm a goof.
I'm exactly the same way, Lily, and I almost interrupted you in the middle of that because like for the same thing.
Is it my turn yet? No, it wasn't.
There's a lot of us on here that have TikTok brain or have ADHD. I think a lot of us do. So,
what he won't do is answer a question.
Rude.
He will never answer a question.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like a good mixture between very, very rude and direct and ADHD.
I think
but I have to. I do have to agree with Emmett that Ryan doesn't tend to answer the straight on question.
I think I try to answer questions sincerely. Like, so I don't always have like yes or no immediate. Like sometimes I want to think through a question like in the conversation, and I think that's what people find frustrating. But it's because I'm actually engaging more than a lot of people would. I'm not just going to throw out a yes or no to appease you. Like I'm going to try to genuinely engage with what you're saying. And if that's,
like that time I asked you what is your favorite color, and you were like, my favorite color, it depends on the time that I'm at the day.
I don't have like one. Does anyone have one favorite color just forever? Really?
When things looks a little bit more clear, it's like bluish green. But when things are a little bit more reddish, I like the greens.
Well, you can't expect someone to have a consistent favorite color. I mean, you could understand.
Yeah, like that's changes.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah.
Not everyone,
why say blue when you can be completely unapologetic about having different colors that you like?
What's wrong with that? I don't.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with that.
My favorite color.
It's funny when you try to have like.
We need to see some more of it.
But isn't that me answering the question? Isn't that me?
No, it's not.
I know. I think it is.
Depends
on the way, though. It depends on how you're answering it.
What else? What else to say? I'm not going to lie to you.
I go on and I ask
Ryan on this one. I've had the same exact problem with the same question, so I can empathize.
There's a term.
I've asked him questions and he goes ahead and answers completely different stuff that has nothing to do with the conversation. It's like, okay, do you, I guess.
Sorry that happened.
Now, I do agree with Ryan that sometimes some people, when they make a question, that they're not really trying to actually have someone give them an answer. They're just trying to make a point, and then they're trying to say, if you don't answer it the way I'm trying to, and they'll make it into a debate tactic. And sometimes that gets a little cringy. I mean, it does.
I just want to point out that the only person up here who hasn't agreed with Ryan yet tonight is Emmett.
Yep.
Emmett will
I am
so
glass, buddy.
Emmett will walk across glass barefoot before he agrees with Ryan.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say to tell him to shut the fuck up, and I was like, yes, I would.
I would say that, but that's about almost everybody. Because that's what I like about Emmett is that Emmett really does. He's going to challenge you, and so he's not going to just take what you say. And so I found that he's that way with everybody, though. So
I like the aggression. Yeah,
it's nice to me. I don't know.
Clover Tech's favorite color is beef. By the way,
I just want to say to Steelman, you don't know what bad faith is. Okay, you come here, debate me, Mister. I love mushrooms. Okay.
Oh no!
Oh, sweet.
Why'd you have to bring up the mushrooms?
Why? Because I want to go ahead with a one-on-one with him on why mushroom is actually bad faith.
Steelman actually
I need a dictionary for Friday. Okay, like all of the very fancy words your old guys are throwing around. Like, okay, yeah. He called me something. Wait a minute, I need to look it up.
Lily, don't worry about it. 90% of the judges, it seems, you can just appear, say like 90% of the things. It doesn't matter if you're correct or not. They will vote for you.
How much can I curse on YouTube? Just want to know.
We curse a lot.
So I can say he's a cunt?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I will say
They-
that just
they
like when
only-
people call me things I don't understand, it's like just dumb it down for me, cunt.
Yeah, what you cannot say are the very basic questions like the F slur and the N, and try to avoid the restarted.
F. I don't even no don't say the but I don't even know what the F is.
It rhymes with trigger.
Well, not that.
Well, no.
The F
No.
one.
The
The
F.
F word rhymes with maggot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the M word
Oh,
rhymes
that.
with
Word rhymes with trigger.
But,
Yeah,
but
the
can I
N-word
say,
burns the
you know,
Did you know
those
there's
words are
actually
bad.
a frozen thing, like a frozen ready food
Beth,
in the
you
UK
have an
that's called
admirer.
that?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I lived in
I'm
England and
shocked
I went
Vibe
into the
didn't come
store
up.
and I was like, okay, there's apparently a dish called the F word,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was yeah.
So
you can say
I think
you can
it
say
is
fuck, no
true
problem.
In the
It is true
dictionary,
that
it
some of
means
those words,
bundle of sticks.
yeah, some of those words like trigger the YouTube algorithm stuff. I would say the real reason you shouldn't use them because like there's no reason to like use those slurs against people, right? Like it's just kind of mean.
True.
I want to be mean to you, Ryan. That would be a reason. Okay,
I know.
I just want to be mean to
you know,
you. I love being mean to you, and you want to be mean to me.
Yeah.
So
Why do you
I
want
know
to be
you
mean
want
to
to.
Ryan, though? I don't understand why you want to be mean.
Look
to
at
Ryan.
him. Just look at him. His face.
It's okay. I understand. We all want to be the center of attention. However,
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the arguments from Jim Bob. I want to fight you. I want to fight you.
Lily was nice enough to give me some of her positions on things. Let me see if I can find them again. There she is. All right, got
It's
it.
like a wall of text.
It is a wall of text. So this is she's like, I don't know what I am in American terms. She is pro-abortion in most cases. Thinks feminism today is not what it should be or what it was about. I think we can all agree that that's true, whether we think that, depending on where it is at. I think circumcision should be forbidden on children unless it's medically necessary. And they should choose when you're 18. I think that's a lot of pain at 18. I'm not sure I agree with that one.
I'm glad I got it done early.
Yeah, get it done early. That sounds like something a woman would say. She thinks Trump is a cunt and he can shove his idea of invading Greenland up his bum. No, we're just going to buy it. We're just going to buy it.
You don't have that money after you tanked the dollar, okay?
We'll be fine.
After this big beautiful bill.
All 50,000
Federal Reserve go burr.
Literally all 50,000 people that live on Greenland we could just pay them $1 million and still not make a dent in that budget. Don't worry about it.
They seem uninterested in becoming a part of the country.
I think Russia is in the wrong war. Is in the wrong with the war in Ukraine. See, I'm backwards. I think the Ukrainians are fucked up, and they literally have a lying sack of shit for a leader. I think both parties are in the wrong in Israel-Palestine. Sure, I can go with that. She thinks weed should be legal. Ryan appreciates that.
I think most of those positions are pretty based. I might push a little bit on the feminism one, but I think
in schools should be free for all. There's no such thing as free, darling. It just doesn't exist.
She means free
Ask Glasser.
of use, right?
Yes, nobody rides for free. Mosman, I got Mosman with that one. That was good. She thinks business and trades should be far more free. I'm not really sure what you mean.
Which one? Sorry.
You think business and trades should be more free.
So, with taxes, the entire
less taxes,
bullshit, less taxes because it if we go to the
these are
economy and
conflicting ideologies.
What?
They're conflicting ideologies. You think that healthcare and schools should be free for all, which nothing's ever free, but you think businesses and trades should pay less taxes, which is what pays for the school.
I pay a base of standard 38% tax from my income. And after that, on top of everything, I pay taxes.
So hold on.
I'm just talking about the import taxes. That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
It's more the fact that in the EU, they want to make sure that you buy from the EU and keeping things local and whatever the fuck. And I'm like, okay, if I can get it to another price and it's the same fucking product, why would I pay more just for keeping it in? It's just gonna punish.
Well, I agree. I think what you mean is that you think you believe in free trade. And
yeah, that's what I trade.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Sure. Can I just say to Trippy real quick, because I think this is targeted at me, that weed should be legal, but I say hair gel should be banned. I'm looking right now at your hairline, Trippy Cast, and I think I understand where that's coming from.
Anyway, all right. So you think men need more mental health support? Well, I mean, therapy is what kills men, so let's try and keep it out.
Let's be fair, like keeping it in is what kills them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, but
there's so few men is even gonna acknowledge they ever been raped or abused or anything.
We were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, you can't also you can say grape, but you can't say
Okay.
Although some places they're allowing it more, but a lot of people are
trying my stream. No.
A lot of people are trying to still be more.
I was told earlier that people aren't getting my notifications again, so that's awesome.
Okay, I think like men doesn't even talk about grape juice, whatever.
Well, sure, we were talking about this earlier, but men don't talk about anything.
Yeah, guys.
That is because they are told.
Because we're not women.
It's
not because they're not told to.
They're told not to. They're told
nobody ever told me to.
And they end up actually just suppressing it because a lot of the time, guys doesn't even fucking dare to say to their mates, "Hey,
as the mom of a boy, like, the thing is, is to teach them proper outlets for it, and talking is not one of them, because as soon as a man shows weakness, then a lot of
and I'm not even going with that. What I'm saying is that men don't like to talk because it's just not in our nature. So we
no, that's not true.
It is. It is.
It's about society.
This will be a great debate then. Let's move on.
I'm a man. I like talking about my feelings. I think it feels good to get
that out. Okay, Ryan, saying you're a man is a stretch, okay?
Emmett,
it's a big stretch, buddy. You're a man.
Slow down. Spread it out a little.
I was nicer. I just called you a feminist.
Yeah.
Is that nicer? I would prefer to be called.
Right. I want to get through the list. I want to get through the list.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. We can come back, but I want to get through the list.
This one is going to be fun.
However, there should be a third category in sports for trans people, as it is not fair to make it mixed.
Agreed.
Well, first, there are only men and women. Trans women are bio men, and trans men are bio women. However, she has nothing against them. They should live their lives, and I will live mine. Obviously, that's fine. Yeah, I agree with that. To
see where your feminism claim was coming from, Lily. That's where we'd probably fight a little bit on the turfy stuff, but I understand.
That's fine. I will go down to further than.
You mean she's an actual feminist then?
I will go down.
I would say it's less feminist.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Transgenderism.
How can anyone that claims to be pro women feminist agree with a man becoming a woman just because they say so?
And saying that it's the same, and saying that they should have access to the same things and all that. Yeah.
Well, and like there's a boxing ring with an actual woman.
Okay.
So I want to hear from Ryan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of threads there. I would say that I think the feminist perspective on trans, like the performance of gender, would say that like the expectation that, because of someone's biology, they have to act in the way that women are traditionally act, and men and present in the way that women traditionally present. I think trying to restrict that and just the like pronouns and stuff to the biological female form, I think that is a feminist critique of that would be that's kind of this gender essentialism that they would reject. That they would say like women are more than just this biological obviously there is like females are a different thing than males, like there's a fundamental biological difference. I agree with that. When it comes to trans sports, I think it's complicated, but generally if a trans woman like falls within the possible relevant category or relevant for a particular sport, especially if after HRT, I don't really see like what the issue is, but that's just me personally.
Ryan, would you date a trans woman?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Would you date a trans woman?
Me personally, probably not.
Great, you agreed with him. I just want to let you know that.
I'm sorry?
This is going to be a great.
You agreed with him. Just want to let you know that.
I agreed with him on a couple of things. I just anyway. All right. So here's let me stand by.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Stand by. EB3 says if YouTube can get you to self-censor and undermine the 1A for a couple of bucks, then you've already lost, not a channel where serious debate and conversation can take place. Your own. So here's the thing, EB3. There's no First Amendment protections over here, buddy. You're an idiot. This is the dumbest possible thing you could say to any knowledgeable person. And I hear Ryan speak daily. If I want to hear something dumb, I know exactly where to go get it. And now you've outdumbed him. He knows this is First Amendment. This is not First Amendment protection.
Yeah.
Allegedly a high bar.
It was you at the club, miss your touch. Go again, baby, what's up? Nothing feels right, so let's mess up everything.